A rare and introverted personality type, Sigma men are guys. Because of their odd mix of introversion and extroversion related characteristics, they might be challenging for most people to comprehend. Individuals around them frequently think of them as distant or even frigid. A Sigma has qualities that make him effective at resolving disputes. Although he is an honest person who talks plainly, he also has a calm demeanor that enables him to settle disputes amicably. Many people are unable to calm heated situations down. As a result, when they argue, they frequently make the issues worse. An important social skill that can enhance every aspect of your life is conflict resolution. They eschew chit-chat. One of the simplest strategies for coming off as approachable and nice in social settings is small conversation. Most individuals will feel somewhat forced to engage in some small chat to appear polite, even if the conversation is superficial and they could care less about what you are saying. Small chat is a social interaction that Sigma males are infamous for avoiding. We've talked about this in prior articles. For a variety of reasons, Sigma males shy away from small chat. Due to their naturally reflective nature, they favor meaningful, in-depth conversations over the superficial ones that casual talk typically involves. When asked to talk about everyday events, Sigma guys can't help but get bored. It can be rather clear to those around them that they are not interested in the conversation as their thoughts wander to more interesting subjects. The Sigma's lack of interest in small talk can come across as unpleasant and frigid, especially at first glance or during a first meeting. The same people who initially perceive the Sigma as chilly may be shocked by how rapidly his attitude can change and become fully interested in the subject as the engagement progresses. This is a perfect illustration of how introverted traits can come out as unpleasant, even though their underlying reason is innocent and without malice. They frequently stay away from other people. Generally speaking, Sigma males are not the most sociable of animals. Like all introverted personality types, their desire for alone time to recharge distinguishes them. For Sigma males, being around others too frequently and being compelled to interact socially can be extremely tiring. As a matter of personal wellness, they must set aside time to be alone and get to know themselves. In their free time, Sigma men enjoy reflecting on their lives and honing their skills. They may appear reclusive to those around them as a result of this. This is because Sigma males prefer to do tasks independently and firmly think that if you want anything done correctly, best do it yourself, as the term lone wolf implies. When it takes particular forms, this has the propensity to come across as cold. Sigma men sometimes have a hard time being reached and may avoid returning telemarketing calls or texts. Polite A Sigma male will only answer when he feels comfortable doing so, therefore trying to get in touch with him will frequently depend much on his current mood. Similar to this, many Sigma males end up canceling plans on their own when they no longer feel like going out. Sigma guys frequently commit to social events just to cancel the day of the event. This is a result of the Sigma male's commitment to acting truthfully by his feelings. Nearly everyone has experienced the desire to change plans, however, few guys carry it out. They don't worry about acceptance. Many people place a great deal of value on approval since it demonstrates that they have thought about others before behaving. On the other hand, Sigma guys frequently put their judgment before that of others. They have a lot of confidence in their capacity to analyze a situation and choose the appropriate course of action. As a result of their contemplative and reflective temperament, which in turn makes them skilled problem solvers, they have confidence in their judgments. It is uncommon for Sigma males to seek approval before acting on their judgment since they have such confidence in their ability to make sound decisions. This may come out as haughty or uncaring to some others, and it could even imply to others that the Sigma male lacks compassion or empathy. The reality is, that when Sigma guys feel they have identified the appropriate path of action, they frequently distrust the ability of people around them to understand their reasoning, and so usually don't even bother trying to explain themselves. Part of what gives Sigma guys their distant and occasionally chilly reputation is the mysteriousness of the impulses guiding their behavior, which leaves people around them perplexed as they attempt to interpret the Sigma male's intentions. They rarely seek assistance. Sigma guys, as we've already mentioned, much prefer to do things on their terms. They can join a team, and when they do, they frequently end up being the most important team member. However, their true nature is that of a lone wolf and solitary operator. Because they prefer to rely completely on their cunning and ability to get them out of any problem, they are renowned for finding it difficult to ask for assistance. It simply does not come naturally to the Sigma male personality type to reach out to others for assistance, and even when they find themselves in a sticky situation, they typically do not even think to ask for it. Because of this, Sigma males frequently appear as the most famous rogue heroes in popular culture. Sigma males, whose heroic reputations are predicated on the fact that they always manage to get out of tight situations by themselves, including Han Solo, John Wick, James Bond, and Indiana Jones. They strive to improve their skill sets so they can confidently handle crisis circumstances without worrying about asking for assistance from others. Many Sigma guys have this personality trait at their core, which accounts for why they are so impressive and independent. However, it also can come off as egotistical or distant to others who are not as familiar with the norms of the Sigma male. Not very expressive about their feelings. How Sigma males communicate their emotions to others is another aspect of being a lone wolf. Because they are accustomed to complete independence and self-sufficiency, Sigma guys want to handle their emotions alone and according to their own rules. When things are bad, they rarely turn to others for support or counsel. Instead, they usually keep to themselves and approach their emotions more from a problem-solving perspective. Sigma guys are said to lean more toward analytical thinking than emotional reasoning and frequently don't see the value in letting a difficult circumstance get the better of them emotionally. Their outwardly appearing lack of emotional intensity can be a little disconcerting. Given their enticing collection of traits, Sigma guys are frequently approached by others who want to be close to them, and their lack of emotional expression can create the impression that they don't feel anything at all. Sigma males, on the other hand, have a high level of internal self-awareness and, as a result, are very good at controlling their own emotions. Sigma males have a profound and contemplative inner life that is full of self-reflection and meticulous consideration, even though this could appear a little robotic or even chilly to those on the outside. They frequently hold off on speaking until others do. Sigma men are not typically thought of as the most sociable individuals. They merely have the common introverted trait of preferring some time alone. They don't necessarily have an issue with spending time with others. This, together with the fact that the Sigma man typically has a stream of ideas racing through his mind at any one moment, causes him to frequently appear a little disconnected from his surroundings. Sigma guys are rarely the ones who approach and start a discussion, even when they have consciously agreed to engage in social interaction. They tend to blend into the background most of the time and will let others start the conversation if they prefer. Sigma males have a lot of charm and social skills once they get into a conversation with someone. However, because it is initially unlikely that a Sigma man will strike up a conversation in the first place, the Sigma male may initially come off as being aloof or standoffish in social situations. People shouldn't let this initial image fool them, though. After you break the ice, conversing with a Sigma guy may be an interesting and completely warm social engagement. They don't feel the need to impress. The only person who can truly appraise a Sigma guy is himself, as is common knowledge. The Sigma man elects to live outside of this social hierarchy, in contrast to alpha males and beta males who depend on the approval of others to acquire and retain their status in society. He doesn't depend on others for his status. Instead, he gives it to himself by forging his path through life and disbelieving the assumptions that others try to make about him. This means that Sigma males never do anything to impress those around them. Without further inspection, this can perhaps come off as cold or arrogant to some, but is a reflection of the true autonomy of spirit exhibited by the Sigma male personality. Sigmas don't engage in social status rivalry. Men who are alphas or gammas desire social prominence. They thus frequently generate problems since they vie for better positions everywhere they go. They frequently use dishonest methods to undermine other people. The gamma man uses passive-aggressive tactics, whereas the alpha male bulldozes anyone he views as a threat. Both of these people are driven by a great desire for social prestige. Naturally, Sigmas don't care about social acceptance, hence they never engage in status competition. Sigmas are competitive, but they're vying for something else. Sigma's main objective is to lead a meaningful life. Compare two musicians, one an alpha male and the other a Sigma, to demonstrate this idea. The alpha creates songs to gain notoriety and establish a musical legacy. In 200 years, he wants the world to still remember his name. These reasons are typical for alphas. In contrast instead, he is fixated on his work and seeks to master it for its own sake. He has an internal objective that is important to him. Sigmas won't ever bring social standing into a discussion, allowing them to be direct without offending anyone. If a Sigma confronts you, he is attempting to address and resolve a genuine issue. He never escalates a minor disagreement into a power struggle. Sigmas address disagreement in a fair and balanced way. Academics have researched conflict resolution because it is relevant to fields like business, politics, and education, and because everyone must cope with low-level conflict. There are two primary strategies for handling conflict. Either people avoid conflict, or they actively seek it out. Conflict avoiders are afraid of the consequences. They don't want to start a problem that becomes unmanageable. Men often refer to them as nice gentlemen since they strive to never offend anyone. Unfortunately, they have ingratiating personalities. Contrarily, those that seek out confrontation favor confronting issues head-on. Because they excel at it and frequently prevail in conflicts, alphas in the male hierarchy genuinely like them. They don't care if they hurt someone's feelings, and they won't think twice about getting into a fight, especially if it advances their standing. Sigmas successfully balance these two strategies. On the one hand, Sigma steers clear of conflict out of distaste for drama and a desire to avoid the unfavorable effects that come with fighting. On the other hand, if he determines that conflict is unavoidable, he will engage in it fearlessly. In other words, a Sigma is adaptable and will modify his strategy depending on the circumstances. Sigmas make excellent moral judgments. Misunderstandings about other people and their motives sometimes lead to conflict. Someone who observes the people in his daily life and is attuned to subtle clues is an excellent judge of character. He is perceptive when it comes to nonverbal cues, taking note of things like voice inflection and body language. He can better understand his surroundings thanks to these observations. Being a good judge of character is important in low-level conflict since you can predict behaviors and reactions if you know the people you're working with. For instance, you wouldn't be surprised if you saw someone exhibiting the usual alpha male characteristics who want to be the leader. Additionally, his passive hostile statements won't surprise you if you have to work with a gamma. Being a good judge of character is crucial since it makes navigating the social environment easier. Because they pay close attention to individuals, Sigmas are good character evaluators because they can change how they handle conflict based on the circumstances. Sigmas use a practical strategy. People frequently escalate issues and make them into something bigger during a disagreement. Their emotions overpower them, and they lose concentration and overlook the real problem. As a result of losing focus and allowing emotions to cloud their judgment, many people act impulsively and say and do things that they subsequently regret.